yourself. Ryan's stirring. We best keep to our knitting. It's time to either run the table or go home empty. Ryan's got the genetic key to Rapture. We get that from him, and we get out of this hellhole. We don't, then you and I are ghosts. Now, would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch? It's time to finish this.
I see Cohen's lost his touch, if you knew him well. When he used to believe in the work, in the struggle. And now, he rots in that Neverland, waiting for someone to come and tell him he still got it. I suppose that's why he let you live. You can taste it, can't you? Andrew Ryan.
Trying to get as close to Ryan's gate as possible without making a spectacle of myself. He's got it shielded 6 ways till Easter. There's no way into that base. All I got for my trouble was the hairy eyeball from Ryan's Splicer mates. That's the reward you get for trying to outsmart the best electrical engineer of our generation.
A worm looks up and sees the face of God. But look around. It's a regular convention of worms in here. They all had mothers, fathers, people who loved them. They got married, got their wives. What makes you think you're any different? I haven't chosen the spot for you on the wall yet. Let me know if you have a preference.
I had to go jungle style with that filthy ape for 3 weeks, but he finally spilled the beans on how to get to Andrew Ryan. Generate a sympathetic overload in harmonic core number 3. That's simple. Now all I gotta do is figure out what the hell a sympathetic overload is, and for that matter, a harmonic core number 3. Piece of cake for an electrical engineer. Too bad I designed ladies' shoes. Gonna go see the grease monkeys left alive in heat loss monitoring. See what I can shake out of their trees.
Unlike all parasites who have tried to walk in stolen shoes. I'd explain the science that renders what you're trying to do impossible, but that would be like playing Mozart for a tree frog.
I never killed a man, let alone a mate. But this is what things come to. I don't know if killing Mr. Ryan will stop the war. But I know it won't stop while that man breathes. I loved Mr. Ryan.
Rapture is coming back to life. Even now, can't you hear the breath returning to her lungs? The shops reopening, the schools humming with the thoughts of young minds. My city will live. My city will thrive. When that day comes, we'll use your tombstone for paving tiles.
Ignore the lies of Atlas and his parasites. Rapture is on the rise.
Strikes me that Fontaine wasn't overly inconvenienced by his own demise. On New Year's Eve, his wretched splicers come streaming out of the poorhouses and stormed the proverbial barricades. Dead right in the streets. Johnny and Janie's citizen are lined up around the block for plasmids. Anything to help fend off the rabble.
I've seen such terrible things, and done worse than that. Thank you for reminding me that the light of the world has not yet been snuffed out. I am sending a little one to help you on your way.
Do you guys have any idea there's a war on? If you don't follow proper maintenance of those Big Daddies, they burn through those R-34s like them Eve's apple berries go through penicillin. I've got Atlas's goons hitting us non-stop and 2 dead mechanics just this week. We need to control costs. If I wanted to deal with amateurs, I would have stayed on dry land.
That's just like all you parasites!
Well,
create a place like this. And what have you built? Nothing. You can only loot and break. You're not a man. You're just a termite at her side.
Welcome to the Circus of Value!
Let me tell you something about keyboards and all them university types. They're so smart, except when they ain't. I put a couple of drinks in him last week, and before I could say boom, he's telling me he's got the code to his office keyed to the date of Australia Day. Now's every week I slip in real gentle and nick a buck or two from the till. The Aussie never notices, and I ain't about to tell him. Seems like there's all kind of crazy stuff back there. Maybe one day I'll get more ambitious. After she showed me round her backyard, I gave her directions to Keyboard's tool shop. Rapture's gone to hell, but sometimes the great chain still cuts you a break.
Circuit breaker, over there, yeah.
We can't Ryan take care of this crap himself.
Because Mr. Ryan's got more important things to do than to enforce loyalty in the ranks. Come on, take you backstabbing son of a bitch.
Before the final rat has eaten the last grab of Rapture, I will lead a parade. Who was that, they'll say, as they point to the sad shape hanging on my wall? Who was that?
I've begged Mr. Ryan to hand Fontaine's futuristics over to Atlas's boys as a peace offering. But the stupid sod won't listen to reason. Instead, he's just...
A man builds a city at the bottom of the sea. That's a marvel. Another man happens to be on a plane that crash lands on the same city in the middle of the ocean. Why, that sounds more like a miracle.
I've begged Mr. Ryan to hand Fontaine's futuristics over to Atlas's boys as a peace offering. But the stupid sod won't listen to reason. Instead, he's just splicing his mob up.
keeping them more and tougher plasmids. There's an arms race on here in Rapture, but it's not about who can build the best guns and the biggest bombs. It's about who can become less of a man and more of a monster.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible.
Kill your cravings, the sister gives us value. Bienvenido al amorcito. Muchas gracias, señor.
Is that you?
Thanks, Mr. Bubbles. Hurry, Mr. B. I can see the angel dancing. You saved me.
She's one of Ryan's spies sent to fill me out. I think she is. If I'm wrong, an innocent girl lined up for Ryan's bloody trophy war. If I'm right, well, let's be right. The device is almost finished. I can't get soft now, I can't. juice down Ryan's throat, choking the bastard. But it wasn't a tree, really. When I looked closer, it was the core control. The gizmo that feeds the mag locks on Ryan's gate. You can't cut off the power. It comes right from the volcanic vents. Ryan always gets his juice. But I suppose you could drown the son of a bitch in it. The basic casing is ready. I've got one charge of nitroglycerin in my office. That will serve as the catalyst. Now I need 4 R34 lead shield wire stubs to pass the circuit. Then a half can of ionic gel. That's the pretty Betty of the mix. Should send the core into compensation mode, push power down the line and trigger the circuit breaker on Ryan's gate. Well, that's the theory. It'll either work like a charm or blow up half of Rapture. Nothing ventured.
Fight me, you bastard! What? What does it say?
Thus! Turned away from your light. Thought we could hide from the light down here. We were wrong. I know more than
heard that.
Hold it! You shall know I am the Lord! We'll
Welcome to the Circus of Value!
At the bottom of the sea, insanity. But where else could we be free from the clutching hand of the parasites? Where else could we build an economy that they would not try to control, a society that they would not try to destroy? It was not impossible to build Rapture at the bottom of the sea. It was impossible to build it anywhere else. course. Have some chosen to destroy themselves with careless splicing. Undeniable. But I will make no proclamations. I will dictate no laws. The great chain moves slowly, but with wisdom. It is our impatience that invites in the parasite of big government. And once you've invited it in, it will never stop feeding on the body of the city.
Like it's a real bomb. It better. You got to put it on the core, past geothermal control. And we'll see if these needle noses knew what the hell they were talking
about. So much blood!
Take this corner of Rapture. This happened right after the start of the war. Read about it in the papers. Head on in. I'll see what I can dig up to help. I'm no engineer, but if I read these plans right, you can channel that magma flow using the redirect valve. It'll boil off that water right quick, and you'll be able to reach the core. But Ryan's sure to take notice. Might want to set up a perimeter just to be certain.
Will these creatures kill you? Even I don't know. As you drag me closer to the abyss, you pull yourself right along with me. Quite often, quick death is preferable to what you did.
Heading on to the core.
So far away from your family, from your friends, from everything you ever loved. But for some reason, you like it here. You feel something. You Can't quite put your finger on. Think about it for a second. And maybe the word will come to you. Nostalgia. What did Atlas offer you? A piece of my plundered city? Mark my words, your only reward will be a knife in the back.
What is the difference between a man and a parasite? A man builds, a parasite asks, where's my share? A man creates, a parasite says, what will the neighbors think? A man invents, a parasite says, watch out, or you might tread on the toes of God.
Matters to me is me, and all that matters to you is you. It is the nature of things. Sometimes you find truth. There is indeed a season for all things. And now that I see you flesh to flesh and blood to blood, I know I cannot raise my hand against you. But know this, you are my greatest disappointment. Does your master hear me? Atlas, you can kill me, but you will never have my city. My strength is not in steel and fire. That is what the parasites will never understand. A season for all things. A time to live and a time to die. A time to build and a time to destroy! Come now, my child. There's one thing to discuss.
What? Ryan set the core to self-destruct. This is different than what you did.
Welcome
He's got a mind to take down the whole damn city. Get in there and whack the chunk before the whole joint blows!
Did you talk to your partner? She's very pretty.
Thank you, Papa Sushon.
Break her neck for me.
What?
Break that sweet puppy's neck. No, please. Break that puppy's neck. No. No. Very good.
Advanced deployment, Lot 111, Dr. Sejong, client Fontaine Futuristics. Baby is now a year old, weighs 58 pounds, and possesses gross musculature of a fit 19-year-old. The results are disappointing, but within expected tolerances.
The assassin has overcome my final defense, and now he's come to murder me. In the end, what separates a man from a slave? Money? Power? No. A man chooses. A slave obeys. You think you have memories. A farm. A family. An airplane. A crash. And then this place. Was there really a family? Did that airplane crash? Or was it hijacked? Forced down. Forced down by something less than a man, something bred to sleepwalk through life until they are activated by a simple phrase spoken by their kindly master. Was a man sent to kill, or a slave? A man chooses. A slave obeys. Come in. Stop, would you kindly? Would you kindly? Powerful phrase. Familiar phrase.
Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
Sit, would you kindly? Stand, would you kindly? Run! Stop! Turn. A man chooses. A slave obeys. Kill! A man chooses! A slave obeys! Obey!
child. Welcome to the city where you were born. You are angry at Fontaine, yes? Now you know the truth. You are his tool, brought back to Rapture to save him. You have saved many of my little ones. I owe you a debt. While you sleep, I undo some of Fontaine's mental conditioning. His control is no longer complete, but he can still pull some very unpleasant strings. We made your mind with many locks and keys. Fontaine has most of those keys, but not all. Suchong designed your mind, taught Fontaine to control you. You might find answers in Suchong's flat in Mercury.
Come with me!